So I've gotten a couple of inquiries from clients slash readers of mine from the past about some of the most common inking tools that I use, and there are quite a few more than what you see on this table right here, but I'll just name a few for now. So let's start off with my probably favorite one, which is a Pigma Micron of various line weights. I usually range from the 005 all the way till the 08, depending on what kind of a line weight I want. And for bold blacks or a really heavy line weight, I typically use this Pigma Micron Graphic 1, 2, or 3. And what I've recently started experimenting with is this old school dip pen. That one, I actually had a conversation with somebody recently who complained about, like, oh, this is such nice line work that you're doing with the dip pen. I wish I could do that, but I typically get frustrated when I sit down and do it because it's so messy and it's hard to control the line weight and stuff like that. So you, young lady from Washington Square that one time, fellow artist of mine, if you are watching this, then you are gonna have to pay close attention, especially because I will talk quite a bit about that hurdle that I had till pretty recent times. But anyway, then I'll also use a brush of varying sizes too. This is a Crafts for All brush, but it doesn't really matter what brand the brush is. You can just use anything, I guess, as long as it's not some cheap gas station kind of situation that's mainly meant for little kids who might fool around with those kind of materials. Don't get any of that, because that can be very fragile and make a sloppy stroke. But other than that, any kind of art store that you enlist for getting something like that should be fine. I will use different kind of nibs. I am blanking out on the specific type of nib that this is called. So the reason I laid out this pencil, I think it's a Derwent 3H, is because that I will, just to go back here for a second, that I will often use for indicating a little quick doodle that shows the light source. Maybe I can just make it a little bit more clear real quick here. So because I like to remind myself where the light source is coming from, because that'll help you make various kind of effects for the drawing if you pay attention to the light source. And in general, that'll just make the drawing look more three-dimensional and add some depth. But more maybe on that a little bit later. And I will often I mean, this is inking, so I will always use, at least when I'm working with the dip pen, this bottle of India ink. Oops. Yeah, for screw ups of what I related to what I just did, you always wanna, whenever you're taking a break, like remember to screw the cap back on. Because going back to the discussion with the young lady who was also a fellow artist, doing her thing at Washington Square Park, I was telling her a story about how I did a drawing once, and I just got up to do something else and left the top wide open. I'm not gonna demonstrate that because that would shoot my anxiety through the roof. Because it can get pretty messy. But anyway, I got up and to do other stuff, and then I just, long story short, I think I was like cleaning my desk or something, and then just did like something like boop, and spilled everything all over my drawing, all over my desk. And that cleaning session got a little bit longer instantly. So anyway, I'll in this case, what I'm showcasing is a Blick Art Materials Black Cat 3 ounce, or if you like the metric system, 89 millimeters in volume. Yeah, so I think this is pretty nice for both the studio or if you're on the go. It's like in the Goldilocks zone, not too large, not too small of an ink bottle, very portable, but it lasts long. And I think if you're, at least if you're based in New York or even anywhere in the US, you could probably order it online at dickblick.com, I believe. Yeah, that's, or just put Blick Art Materials in your favorite search engine. But anyway, last but not least, I'll use this Blick Studio acrylic as a whiteout. I originally got this for was to turn paint a little bit lighter, or to tint paint if we want to be fancy about the terms. But what I realized later is that it actually makes some decent whiteout, as demonstrated right here. This used to be a line here, but I whited that out, and then I further down here I actually messed up the spelling with one of the letters, and I just used some whiteout right there. Maybe it's hardly noticeable if you're not that observant. So you can, I like to kind of improvise with my art materials a lot to save some money. Fellow indie artists of mine will know exactly what I'm talking about, but you can get some actual whiteout if you want. But honestly, this has been, as long as you put enough thick of a layer of paint, any kind of white acrylic paint will do pretty good as a whiteout if you really need whiteout. I'm honestly pretty moderate with it, so I won't go crazy with whiteout. And also I will often have just a random piece of a paper towel or a handkerchief or something like that for cleaning the brushes or nibs in between work sessions. And I'll have like this little thing to dip it all in with water in it. And yes, in case you were thinking about that, yes, that is in this case a ashtray that just happened to be laying around, previously owned by someone else in my household. So upon bumping into it, I just figured that, okay, I don't smoke, but this seems like it could work well for storing water for painting and inking. So going back to the topic of improvising. You know, it doesn't have to be an actual cup dedicated for storing water. It can just be anything like that. So anyway, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get to the work itself.